Alright, so once again, good morning everyone. So for this morning, we will discuss with um, the second topic, which is all about problems involving sets. So in here, since we are done with our discussion in the union of sets, the intersection of sets, and the difference of sets. So pag maingon ta na union of sets, di ba ingon ta if A union B, that means na tanan element sa A and tanan element sa B is maong ato isuyat sa A union B. But when we talk about the intersection, A intersection B, that means na kung kinsa tong mga elements nga naa sa A, nga naapod kang B, mao na ang ato A intersection B. Now, if we have A minus B or the difference of sets A and B, that means that ang kinsa tong mga elements sa A na wala sa B. So right now, at this moment, we will have these mga problems that involve sets. So in here, we will be solving sets. I will teach you how to solve sets, unsa ang ato mga pamaagi for us to solve this set. So in here, of course, we have here okay, problems involving sets. So we will try solving the following problem. So in here, we have a problem that in a group of 120 students, 68 had ridden a bus, 78 had ridden the LRT, and 33 had ridden a jeep, while 40 had ridden both the bus and the LRT. 20 had ridden the bus and the jeep, 19 had ridden the LRT and the jeep, and 15 had ridden the bus, the LRT, and the jeep. Now we have there 4 questions that you will have to answer. No, balikon ni nato siya after our discussion. So the first question there is how many had ridden the bus only? How many had ridden the LRT only? Letter C, how many had ridden the jeep only? And letter D, how many did not ride on any of the three modes of transportation? So those are our first problem for these problems involving sets. So we will have to answer that later. But right now, we will discuss on how we will be able to solve these problems. No? So we have this what we call Venn diagram. I know that you are all familiar with Venn diagram, katong gidrawing sa mga taga lain no, na grupo. So we have the Venn diagram is a principal way of showing sets diagrammatically. Diagrammatically. This method consists primarily of entering the elements of a set into a circle of circles. It can be used to solve word problems involving union and intersection of the sets. So in solving set operations using the Venn diagram, sa tong mga operations nato sa set, we have the union, the intersection, the difference, and the complement. So, in solving the mga set operations using the Venn diagram, the following are the steps to be followed. So, we have here 5 steps in solving no set operations na gamito nato ang Venn diagram. Unsa galing ng Venn diagram? Example sa Venn diagram is this one, kini. No, this is a Venn diagram where you are or you have there this one circle here is your set A and this other circle here is your set B. What example ng Venn diagram? So again, so step 1, no, in solving for the set operations using the Venn diagram, we have there to we are tasked to determine what is given and what are being asked. So first, you will have to read the problem. And then after reading the problem, of course, kinahanglan nimo i-determine kung kisa man ang mga gipanghatag na given. And then if na-identify na nimo kung kinsa ang imong mga given, imo na sa tan-awon kung kinsa man ang gipangayo sa problem. Kay lisod pod maghatag ka sa mga butang na wala gipangayo. So again, adto ka sa mga butang na gipangayo. Kay mao to ang imong basihan in solving that problem kay mao man siya ang kanang gipangita. Ikaduha is to illustrate using the Venn diagram. So you will be using the Venn diagram in step 2. After identifying the given, after identifying the things that being asked in the problem, the step 2 is for you to draw or to illustrate the Venn diagram there. And then the step 3 is for you to determine what operations to be used. No, after drawing the Venn diagram, magunaw na ka na in the problem unsa man ang operations na imo gamiton. And then in step 4, after getting to know or knowing what operations ang imo gamiton, you will of course use the operations. Okay, and then step 5, you will have to answer the questions being asked. And then here are some workout examples. So we have here example number 1. In example number 1, you let A and B be two finite sets. So pagaling tong finite sets kay katong mga sets nga ang elements kay mabilang ra or countable. So naa daw tay si A daw ug si B nato kay mga finite sets. So pasabot si set A ug si B mabilang ra ang mga elements nila. So we have here n of A is equal to 20 and n of B is equal to 28. Now, the n A union B is equal to 36. So you will have to find for the n A intersection B. So again, mao na ang imo problem. So kung ang A union B daw is equal to 36, now you will have to find for the A intersection B. So sa pagaling ning pasabot ng n of A, kinsa pagaling na si Ja? Kasi naka-remember? Wala, union ka pa. Di ba nato n of A? Dili na set. N of A is in the cardinality of a set. So what do we mean by the cardinality of a set? That is the number of elements nga naa sa usa ka set. So that means na si A nimo ang number ng mga elements sa set A is equal to 20. So again, na ay 20 ka elements sa set A. Sa set B na ay 28 ka elements. Now, if we have there the A union B, no? Again, amantay N diha, N of A union B. That means that we are talking about the cardinality of set A union B. So, uminta na cardinality, that is the number of elements nga naa sa A union B. So, pila man ka elements ang naa sa A union B? Naa daw tayo 36 ka elements. Now, in here, we are tasked to find for the cardinality of A intersection B. So our solution here is, of course, we will follow the 5 steps given to us. Numbers 1 or the step 1 is to determine what is given and what are being asked. So unsa tong atong given? No, ang ato cardinality of set A is 20. May pagset unsang given cardinality of set A is 20. Cardinality of set B is 28 and cardinality of A union B is equal to 36. Mauna ang gihatag sa problem na given. Ikaduha, no, kinsa man ang gipangita. So again, kinsa man ang gipangita. So ang gipangita is si A or the cardinality of A intersection B. Again, the cardinality of A intersection B. Let me just remind you, when we talk about intersection, we are talking about the same elements nga naa sa A ug naa sa B. Mao nang ato intersection. Okay, kaduha. It's for us to illustrate using the Venn diagram if possible. So, nag-draw ka diha ng Venn diagram. This is your set A, a circle, and this is your set B. And kining naa sa tunga is your A intersection B. Again, kining naa sa center is your A intersection B. Now, for step 3, the step 3 there is for you to determine what operations to be used. You are to determine kung unsa na operations ang imo gamiton. So using the formula N or the cardinality of A union B is equal to, no, again, ang cardinality of A union B is equal to the cardinality of A plus the cardinality of B minus N or the cardinality of A intersection B. Naapa? Mabati ra ko sa uban? Bati ra dahil. Sige, so padayon ta, no? So, using the formula there, we have there again i-add nimo ang cardinality sa A o cardinality sa B, minusan nimo again, no, this is the union, di ba? Ang union kay ang mga element nga naa sa A o naa sa B, minusan nimo sa A intersection B. So that means that the cardinality of A intersection B is equal to, no, NA plus NB minus A union P. Nga naman, imo ra ni silang gipang i-transfer ra nimo si A intersection B sa PCAS, tapos si N gi-transfer nimo sa PCAS, maunang nahimong negative. So that means that your cardinality of A is 20, the cardinality of B is 28, minus the cardinality of A union B is 36. So you have there 20 plus 28, 48, minus 36, your answer is 12. So again, the cardinality of A intersection B is equal to 12. So after, no, determining the operations na gigamit, you will have to use the operations. Again, sa imong C8, kinsa maning C8, mao ni ang imong A. So na ay 8 ka elements here sa A, and then 16 ka elements sa B, and then 12 ka elements nga naa sa A nga naapod sa B. For step 5, you will have to answer the questions being asked. So again, you will have to answer the questions being asked. So find A intersection B, and that is equal to 12. So you have there, your answer for this problem is equal to 12. Pangutana. Ito na lang ang pangutana sa face-to-face. Okay, so let's have example number 2. So we have here example number 2. In a junior high school, 200 students were randomly selected. So 140 like T, so again, sa junior high school daw, no, 200 daw ka students ang napilian randomly. And then ang sa 200, among sa 200 na ay 140 nga ganahan og T. Na ay 120 nga ganahan og coffee, and na ay 80 nga ganahan og both tea and coffee. So again, pila ka buok, no, junior high school students ang napilian? There are 200. Pila man ang ganahan ng tea? Pila ang ganahan og tea? 140. Pila ang ganahan ng coffee? 120. Pila ang ganahan sa both tea and coffee? That's 80. Okay, so we have there 3 questions, no? So ang ato first questions is, how many students like only tea? Kaduha, how many students like only coffee? And letter C, how many students like neither tea or coffee? So, let's have there the solution. On sa patong ato first step, that is for you to determine what is given and what are being asked. So, ang given ni Joe na 200 ka junior high school students nga na-select randomly, na ay 140 students nga ganahan og tea, na ay 120 students who like coffee, and 80 students who like both tea and coffee. So, that is your given. Now, ang gipangita is letter A, how many students like only tea? B is how many students like only coffee? And letter C, how many students like neither tea nor coffee? So in step 2, okay, so step 2 nato is for you to illustrate using the Venn diagram. So you let T is equal to set of students who like only tea. C is equal to set of students who like only coffee, and X is equal to set of students who like neither tea nor coffee. So, dili ganahan ang mga estudyante, si X is, gialaw na to that this is a set of students na dili ganahan sa tea o sa coffee. So, the Venn diagram is shown below. So, this is our T here, and our C here, and then nganong namatay 80 sa tunga. Because, pasabot, natay 80 ka students who like both the tea and the coffee. Okay, step 3. Determine what operations to be used. So again, we will have to determine kung unsa na operations ang ato gamiton. So we have here step 1. No, para ma-obtain nato ang t, no, that is equal to 140 minus 80. Nganong nag 140 minus 80 man ta? Kay, di ba, ang student nga ganahan og T kay 140 man. Sakto. And then, sa students who like both tea and coffee kay 80. So that means, diri is 140 daw tanan ang ganahan ng tea. Ang ato gipangita is, kung pila raman ka estudyante ang ganahan ra sa tea. Tea ra. Tea. Dili sila ganahan sa coffee, but they only like tea. So, manang gi-minus nato si 140 minus 80. So, we have there 60. Okay? Isa maning 60, mao ni ang mga set of students who like only tea. So, sa step 2, no, para makita nato sisig, yun sa manato. Okay, pila ganito ang ganahan sa kuan? There are 120 students, tanan, ang ganahan sa coffee. Okay? Na ay 120 students daw ang ganahan sa coffee ra. Ang ipangita nato kay pila ang mga estudyante nga ganahan sa coffee ra. Okay, so ang 120 students kay mao na ang ganahan sa coffee. Pero naatay 80 ka students nga ganahan ng both tea and coffee. So enjoy minus 120 minus 80 naatay 40. So again, naatay 40 ka students ang ganahan sa coffee only. So again, our last nagpangita is how many students like neither tea nor coffee. So we have there, no, to obtain x is equal to 200 minus, no, kisa man ang 200. Again, naatay 200. Kisa ko si 200, that is the number of students nga ganahan or number of students nga gi-select no randomly. So minusan nato si 200 sa katong mga estudyante na ganahan sa tea, katong mga estudyante nga ganahan sa coffee only, and katong mga estudyante nga ganahan both sa coffee and tea. So again, si T nato is equal to 60, si C nato is equal to 40 plus 80. So 60 plus 40, that's 100. Plus 80, that's 180. And then 200 minus 180, that means that there are 20 ka students who like neither tea nor coffee. So, dili ganahan ng tea, dili pod ganahan ng coffee. So, in there, we have our step number 4, where we will use the operation. So, the number of elements in each region is shown below. Natay 60 ka students ang ganahan ra ng tea. Natay 80 ka students ang ganahan both ng tea and ng coffee. And naatay 40 ka students ang ganahan ra sa coffee. And then naatay 20 ka students nga naara sa gawas because dili sila ganahan ng coffee and tea. And then step 5, answer the question being asked. So how many students like only tea? There are 60 students. Letter B, how many students like only coffee? There are 40 students. And letter E, how many students like neither tea nor coffee? There are 20 students. Sabtan ra? Okay. Okay, so we'll proceed to the third example. So sa third example, no, a group of 25 high school students were asked whether they used either Facebook or Twitter or both. So, naatay 25 no ka grupo. We're talking about grupo. Natay ang group of 25 na mga high school students ang gipangutana kung unsa man ang ilang gigamit, ang Facebook ba, ang Twitter pa, or both ang Facebook o ang Twitter. So, there are 15 students daw. There are 15 students daw na nagamit ng Facebook. And there are 12 students nga nagamit og Twitter. So again, pila to sila tanang kabuok? There are 25 high school students. Yung na ay 15 ang gagamit ng Facebook, na ay 12 ang gagamit ng Twitter. The question is, natay tulo ka pangutana. How many students used Facebook only? Ikaduha, how many students use Twitter only? Ikatulo, how many students use both social networking sites? So again, okay, solution there. Okay, step number 1. Determine what is given and what are being asked. Nabati pa ko? Okay, so again, step number 1, you have to determine what is given and what are being asked. So, given nato kay natay 25 ka high school students nga who were asked whether they use either Facebook or Twitter or both. And among them, there are 15 students who used Facebook and there are 12 students who used Twitter. Now, ang ato gipangita kay letter A, how many used Facebook only? Letter B, how many used Twitter only? And letter C, how many used both social networking sites? So those are for step 1. Now let's go to step 2, where we will have to illustrate using the Venn diagram. So we will have to draw the Venn diagram there. But of course, before drawing a Venn diagram, we will have to assume mga letters that will help us identify that this letter is for the set of students. Okay, so letter F, so we assume or we let F, si F ang atong set of students who use Facebook only. Si T ang atong set of students who use Twitter only. And si B ang atong set of students who use both social networking sites. So you have there the Venn diagram. This is our F here. This is our T here. And this is, sa to nga, si B, ang students na to nga gagamit both Facebook and Twitter. Now, step number 3. We will have to determine what operations to be used. So in there, the first step is for us to identify kung pila man si B. Sa pagaling tong B, pila ka students ang gagamit sa both F o sa Facebook and sa Twitter. So again, we have there B is equal to F plus T minus 25. Nganong ingani man? Nganong gi-add man nato si Facebook o si Twitter minusan nato og 25. Isa pagali si 25, this is the total number of high school students. Kay pila tong ato F. Si F nato is the 15 students who used Facebook, and then si T nato is ang 12 students who used Twitter, and then sa 25 mo na nga to total number of high school students. So again, gi-add nato si F o si T. Okay, if add nato si F o si T, no, that means pagka-add nato sa ila, minusan nato sa 25. Si 25 is the number of all the students there. So we have there 15 plus 12 minus 25. So 15 plus 12 is equal to 27 minus 25. So there are only 2 students who used Facebook and Twitter, or who used both the social networking sites, or who used both the Facebook and Twitter. Now for number 2. So in order for us to obtain F, kinsa pa si F, students who used Facebook only. So again, there are 15 students who used Facebook. Minusan nato si just sa B, kay si B man ang ato katong estudyante na mogamit ng Facebook, both Facebook and Twitter. So pila pa galing si B, that is 2. So 15 minus 2 is equal to 13. Which means that there are 13 students who used only or who used Facebook only. Now, to obtain T, si T na to kay ang mga estudyante nga gagamit sa Twitter only. So, there are 12 students who use Twitter. No, minusan nato si just sa B, where ang ato B kay mga estudyante na nagamit sa Facebook and Twitter, both Facebook and Twitter, and then RB there is 2, so 12 minus 2, there are 10 students who use Facebook only. So after that, let's go to step number 4, where you will have to use the operations, and then the number of elements in each region is shown below. So you have there si 13 mo, ang number of students who use Facebook only. C2 is ang number of students who use both Facebook and Twitter. And C10, ang number of students who use Twitter only. So number 5, answer the questions being asked. So how many used Facebook only? So there are 13 students. How many used Twitter only? So there are 10 students. How many used both social networking sites? So there are 2 students who used both social networking sites. Okay, so let's have the last problem. So again, let's have the last problem here. So our last problem is a group of 50 students went for a tour in South Cotabato province. Out of 50 students now, 24 joined the trip in Lake Cebu for a zip line experience, and there are 18 went to the flower farm in Topi, na ay 20 nga niadto sa Siok Falls in Coronadal City, and 12 joined the trip to Lake Cebu and Tupi. So both sa Lake Cebu and Tupi. And then 15 went to Tupi and Siok Falls, and 11 made a trip to Lake Cebu and Siok Falls, and 10 visited the 3 tourist spots. So, there are 4 questions here. Una is how many students went to Lake Cebu only? Letter B, how many of the students went to Tupi only? Letter C, how many joined the Siok trip in Coronadal City only? And letter D, how many did not go to any of the tourist spots? So again, so first is step 1, it's for us to determine what is given and what are being asked. So there are 50 ka students nga ning uban sa tour. 24 ka students nga nag-visit sa Lake Cebu. There are 18 ka students nga niadto sa or who went to Tupi. 20 students who went to Coronadal City. There are 12 students nga ning-join sa trip to Lake Cebu and Tupi. So both Lake Cebu and that one. 15 students who went to Tupi and Coronadal City, and 11 students who went to Lake Cebu and Coronadal City. And there are 10 students who visited the 3 tourist spots. So these are being asked here. Natay upat ka question. Letter A, kay pila daw ka students ang niadto sa Lake Cebu only. No, ang ila na, like kini na mga estudyante, ang ila na gatuan kay Lake Cebu. Wala na sila niadto sa lain. No? Letter B, pila ka students ang niadto ra sa Tupi. Wala na dadyon sila lain. Dito ra sila. Tupi ra sila niupan. Sa letter C, pila man ka students ang join sa Siok trip in Coronadal City only. Okay. And letter D, how many did not go to any of the tourist spots? So we will have to illustrate using the Venn diagram. Sabi na no, kada-kana. So si LKT, di-allow na to, we let LKT as the number of students who visited the 3 tourist spots. No? Again, usa to mga tourist spots, Siok, Tupi, and Lake Cebu. Again, Siok, Tupi, and Lake Cebu. Mao ang atong tulo ka tourist spots. So again, si LKT nato is ang mga numbers sa students nga ning visit sa tulo ka tourist spots. Si L nato is ang number of students who visited Lake Cebu only. So we have there, si T nato is the number of students who went to Tupi only. Si K is ang number of students who went to Coronadal City only. Si LT nato kay ang number of students who joined the trip to Lake Cebu and Tupi. Si TK nato kay Tupi and Coronadal City. And si LK nato is Lake Cebu and Coronadal City only. And si N nato is ang number of students nga wala ning tan-aw sa any of the 3 spots there. So we have there this is our natay tulo ka circle. Si K is ang atong isa pagaling si K, that is ang mga estudyante nga ning join sa Coronadal City only. Si L is ang sa Lake Cebu. Si T is ang sa tupi. Okay. Si LK is ang mga estudyante nga niadto sa Lake Cebu ug sa Coronadal. So si LKT is ang niadto sa both sa Coronadal, sa Lake Cebu ug sa Tupi. Okay, so naata diri mga kuan. So determine what operations to be used. So again, sa ito unahang pagpangita is ang LKT. No, kung kinsa daw tong mga estudyante ang ni-visit sa tulo ka tourist spot. So naa naman tay given na ang atong estudyante nga ning-visit sa tulo ka tourist spot kay na ay 10. So ibutang nato dira that there are 10 students who visited the 3 tourist spots. Okay? Kaduha, to obtain TK, si TK nato is ang students who went to Tupi and Coronadal City. So, there are 15 ka students, minusan nato si just sa LKT. Kay para ma-identify nato kung kinsa ra tong niadto sa TK only. So, ang LKT nato is there are 10, and then 15 minus 10, there are 5. So, kinsa maning 5 students who went to Tupi and Coronadal City only. Am I correct? Is that how you pronounce Tupi or Tupay? It's Tupi man siguro. Okay, number 3. To obtain LT or the Lake Cebu, mga estudyante nga niadto sa Lake Cebu and at the same time sa Tupi, you have to minusan nimo. So there are 12 students who went to LT and then you will have to subtract the LKT. And there are 10 again ka-students nga niadto sa LKT. So you have 12 minus 10, there are 2 students ra nga ni-join sa trip sa Lake Cebu and Tupi. Now for the fourth one, to obtain LK, so you have there, LK is equal to 11 minus LKT. No, and then 11 minus 10, there are 1 student who went to Lake Cebu and Coronadal City only. Now, to obtain L, kisa paning si L, si students nga ni-join sa trip to Lake Cebu, no, so minusan mo si Ja sa LKT, mga estudyante nga ning join both sa Lake Cebu, sa Coronadal City, o sa Tupi. And then, i-plus sa nini mo silang tulo, si LT, si LT, that is the mga students nga niadto both sa Lake Cebu and sa Tupi, and then LK. So, you have there 10 plus 2 plus 1, so there are 13. So, 24 minus 13 is equal to 11. So, there are 11 students who visited Lake Cebu only. So, again, step 6. To obtain K, all you have to do again is to add si LKT plus LK plus TK. Okay, sa gay na LK, karon TK. So, there are 10 plus 1 plus 5. So, there are 16 here. So, 20 minus 16, that is equal to 4. So, there are only 4 students who went to Coronadal City only. Or number 7, again, there are 18 ka students who went to Tupi. So, minusan mo si Just sa mga estudyante nga niadto sa LKT, sa TK, o sa LT. So, again, you have there 10 plus 5 plus 2, that is 17. So, 18 minus 17, there are 1 student who went to Tupi only. Now, to obtain N, now all you have to do is to, no, kisa man si N, mga number of students no, who went for a tour minus the students of LKT, TK, LT, LK, LK, and T. So, kinsa man ning mga students, kinsa man si N? Si N is ang mga students nga wala ning visit to any of the 3 spots there. Again, si N ang mga students na wala ni visit sa any of the 3 spots there. So, we have there, so 50, this is the total number of students, minusan nimo sa kini. So, there are 10 sa LKT, sa estudyante nga ning visit sa Tupi o Coronadal, 5, estudyante nga ning visit sa Lake Cebu and Tupi, 2, and then 1, and then 11 ang L, 4 ang K, and then 1 ang T. So, i-add nimo sila tanan, there are 34, so 50 minus 34, there are 16 students who did not visited any of the 3 spots. So that is for step 3. Now for step 4, you will have to use the operations. So in here, so na ay 4 ra ka students ang ning visit ra sa Coronadal City only. Isa maning 1, estudyante nga ni visit sa Coronadal og sa Lake. Si 10 kay ang estudyante nga ni visit sa apil man siya sa circle sa K, apil po siya sa circle sa L, apil po siya sa circle sa T, so that means na si 10 ka students ni visit sa K, sa L ug sa T. There are 2 students nga ni visit sa L ug sa T. And 5 students ang ni-visit sa Coronadal City ug sa Tupi. And 1 students ang ni-visit ra sa Tupi only. And to answer the questions being asked, so letter A, how many of the students went to Lake Cebu only? So there are 11 students. How many of the students went to Tupi only? So there are 1 student. How many joined the Sea Oak trip in Coronadal City only? So there are 4 students. And how many did not go to any of the tourist spots? There are 16 students. So that's it for our so mao to no ang ato discussion for this day. So on Wednesday we will just have to continue with sa tatayimon on Wednesday katong inyong presentation kada grupo. Okay? And then after that, on Thursday, we will have our discussion, continuous discussion. We'll have a recap sa atong mga naiskutan karon. Maghatag ko og problem set. And on Friday, we will have our discussion on the next topic. Do you have any questions, everyone?